Hello, beautiful souls. I am Valeria Maritza at Healing Through You. I am an infinite being of light, and so are you. Whoa, today we are celebrating 1 year of podcasting. It is today, Tuesday, January 24th, that I started my very first podcast, and I just wrote a whole post about this in my private Facebook group, but this is for everyone else who's here, and this is an extra episode. I want to talk to you about manifesting and how it works, because this is exactly what happened last year. So last year, about maybe about mid-January, so I started a list of things I wanted to manifest. And I started my list by writing over 100 things, and each thing started with the words, I would like to believe that, and then whatever I wanted. So one of the things that I wrote was, I would like to believe that I explore podcasting. And another thing that I wrote is, I would like to believe that I am an author, and then I wrote, I would like to believe that I am a best-selling author. Okay, so these are just 3 things that I wrote out of my 162 things I think I ended up with last year. And when I wrote these things, notice that the one about the podcast, I'm like, I would like to explore podcasts. Like, I wasn't even thinking I want to have a podcast, I want to be invited to a podcast, I want to write, I want to be speaking at a podcast. I was not even there. I was like, I just want to kind of explore. It was really vague. It was really out there. And this is one of the reasons why it happens so quickly. Because when we are manifesting the things, all we have to do is put it out there, say it, right? Intend it, and then let it go. And the least amount of attachment that we have to the result, the faster we receive it. Because if we have no attachment, as in, I don't really care if it happens or it doesn't. I mean, actually, I do care, but like, it's not that important, right? It's not something that I'm really like working on it like really hard, right? It's like something that would be nice to have. I would like to believe that, right? That's how I started my sentence. So I had no attachment to it. Because I had no attachment, it manifested like within days, like literally. So I wrote this list, and then after I wrote the list, I would read this list out loud about once or twice a day, usually once, because I just didn't have the time. And as I would read the list, I would get more and more hype, more and more energy behind what I was saying. And there it would be, right? Like really, really loud. And I would be excited about it. So whenever I would say it. Well, not very much after I wrote my list and I started saying it, I became aware of this group. It was a group of women entrepreneurs, and I thought, maybe I need to, but maybe I should, again, another low frequency word I'm using here. Okay, maybe this would be for my benefit, to join this group. So I did, and I joined it, and it had a whole bunch of stuff that you had to do. And within those things, there was a link that said, have you done podcasting yet? It's so easy, just follow this link. Well, I was like, okay, well, what is this? So I'm the type of person that if I get an email with something and I don't take action right there in the moment, that email gets lost and I forget about it and nothing ever happens. And so knowing myself, knowing how I worked on this, I was like, let me look into this right now. I happen to have some time. So I clicked on it. And the thing said, write your name here. I did. Write your phone number. I did. I don't know what other information it was asking for, but it was asking information like really easy, step by step. I was filling it up. I was having fun. And then all of a sudden I get to the part that said, you're now ready to record your first episode. And I was like, what? That easy? It cannot be, right? It was that easy. So then I was like, well, let me see how this works. Let's see how this, how does this thing work? So I pressed record and I started recording my very first podcast episode. And I didn't have anything planned. I wasn't even thinking I was going to be speaking to anyone or recording anything. And I just spoke. I just started speaking, telling my story. And when I finished, I was so excited about it, what had happened. I put stop. I didn't edit it. Just so you guys know, none of my podcasts are edited. They're all straight, raw. Whatever comes. If there's like background noise or something that's happening, that stays there. It is what it is because they are transmissions. I am channeling the answers. And so I'm not changing it. It's like whatever happens, and that's what it is. So I was like, wow, this is good. I think it's good. And then it said publish. And I was like, wow, publish now? I'm like, well, let's see how that works. And that's what it was, guys. It was my curiosity of like, oh, how does this work? Oh, let me see how that works. Oh, let me try it out. And so I did. I pressed publish and voila, there it was. My first podcast episode. It was recorded. It was live. How does it get any better than that? Well, today on the 24th of January, I received an email from what is this, Anchor, what I'm recording through, and it said, congratulations, this is your 1 year anniversary. I couldn't believe it. I actually, thinking back, I thought that my first podcast was recorded in February. So like that just tells you how fast time has gone by and how easy this was, right? I was in the flow. I was just following step by step what was happening. I was curious about it. I was having fun. These are all key words: curiosity, following, that's taking action, and having fun, right? I didn't think twice about it. I didn't have anything written, just like this one that I'm just speaking here. There's nothing written. I have nothing planned. I am just channeling the answers right here because the guys want you to also be able to lean into what you want and manifest what you want. So this is why it's coming through. This is why I'm explaining the process, my process. Now, again, as with anything and anyone that you listen to and follow and learn from, you take the teachings and then you take what resonates and you leave what doesn't. And you always make it your own, right? So I'm telling you step by step of what happened with me and how it worked for me and the steps that I did to manifest. And I'm explaining things as they're coming through for me to share with you. But at the same time, there are things that you might want to tweak and or change. For example, I started saying that when I wrote my list of things to manifest last year, I started each sentence with, I would like to believe that, and then fill in the blank, right? Every single sentence I started like that. Now, I started it that way because I needed that last year. Last year, I was in a much less evolved, I should say, point of view of where I was believing in myself, and I actually didn't really believe much in myself, and so as I do now, or a lot less. And so by writing I would like to believe that, I was bypassing my ego, my mind, negating every single thing. So like, for example, if I said I am a best-selling author, my mind would immediately say, no, you're not. And that will negate my wanting to manifest, right? It will take away some of the energy that I was putting in it. So by me writing the sentences and saying, I would like to believe that I am a best-selling author, then the mind has nothing to argue with. It's like, okay, well, you can believe that, right? But there's nothing saying it isn't. And this is how I manifested last year, most of the things on my list. Now, this year, I have evolved. I'm a much different place than I was last year. I am much more self-assured and confident in what I'm able to do. This year, my sentences for my manifesting list begin with, isn't it wonderful that? Isn't it wonderful that I am a best-selling author, right? That's what that same sentence would look like. And this is what I'm talking about, changing things to fit you, right? If I'm telling you, I wrote my sentences, my list of sentences that starts with, isn't it lovely that, or isn't it wonderful that, or I would like to believe that, and none of those things are resonating with you, you need to pick whatever sounds good for you, that you believe, that it feels good for you to be saying, and then use that, right? So you use the teachings, but you make them fit you. You make them fit what you feel is in alignment with yourself. Okay, so yeah, that is how we manifest. One of the ways, right? Really being called forward to explain more into this and tell you more about it and give you more of that fire underneath to let you begin your list and start working on it and start repeating it and reading it out loud. Because when you read your list out loud, what happens is that your ears hear your voice saying it, and our voices have specific frequencies that activate ourselves the most. Our own voice activates ourselves, our own body, our own energy field, our own selves more than anyone else. So when we hear the affirmations being said in your own voice, they're much more powerful than when you hear them from someone else. So when you hear a meditation and someone is saying the affirmations, yeah, that works really, really good. Now, what works even better is if you record yourself and say the same affirmations and you can get to hear them in your own voice. So this is why that works so well. When you read your list out loud and then you're hearing the affirmations being said in your own voice, right? Now, of course, all the things work, okay? I'm just, if you don't have or you don't want to be recording things because it's like too much for you, you don't have to do that either, right? Like, oh, that's too much work. That's not for you, right? This is all about going with ease, going in the flow, not having resistance to anything, okay? So yeah, I wanted to share with you that this is the way that we manifest, right? So I put it out there, I put the intention, I repeated it, I said it, I saw a group for me to join. I had this feeling like, ooh, this might be beneficial for me. I didn't go like, oh, if I join this, I might get a podcast out of it, or I might get to write a book from here. I didn't think of those things. I wasn't linking it together. I wasn't thinking anything of it. I was like, oh, there might be some good in this for me. And I trusted and did it. I took action. So I joined the group. And from that group, I was sent this link for the podcast. And then I already told you that story. And so that happened, right? I couldn't have made that up. I couldn't have figured it out and said, okay, I want to do a podcast. What group might have the information that I need in order for me to create one, right? I didn't have that. And if you go and look like podcasting or how to do it, you're going to find so many different ways and different companies to do it with. And for me personally, that's overwhelming. It's like I'm looking at, oh, well, which one's the better one? Which one should I do? Like, right? Like, so I have all these questions and then it feels like it's hard, like it's too much work to do the research, to do all of this stuff. It just doesn't feel that good. And then that's when a lot of us who feel overwhelmed like that, when we have too much information, that we just give up because it's just too much. And you just like, okay, like I don't know what to choose. And so that makes us immobile, right? So by joining this group and the group giving me one link, a specific link that said, follow this link and then you can do your podcast. And I did, right? That was the next part. Like, I was like, oh, okay. Curiosity and action. Curiosity. Let me see how this works. Action. I took action. I started filling out the thing and seeing how it works, right? And so that made it easy for me. See, the universe delivered it to me without me even knowing that that's what I was asking for. Right? The universe knew what I was asking, and the universe knew which was the easiest, fastest way for me to achieve that wish that I had written down, that I was now voicing out loud each time I read it. Same thing happened with my book. I wrote, I would like to believe that I am an author. I would like to believe that I am a best-selling author. Say I corrected myself. I wrote one that I was like, oh, you know what? It would be even better if I was best-selling just than being an author. And then the same way, I received a link. Actually, I didn't receive a link. I saw on my feed someone talking about, hey, would you like to become an author? Blah, 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 blah. And I started paying attention. I connected with the person. It felt right. And I signed up with her. I wrote my chapter and boom, done, right? What? Like, that is how easy. There are people who are writing their own books right now and who are going the hard way. And the hard way is the linear way. The linear way is the way that we have been taught to do things for hundreds of years. For example, you must go to elementary school and then high school and then college and then graduate school and then PhD. If you want to get this type of degree or this type of field to study, then you need to maybe do some type of work with a company where you're not getting paid and you're just working for free so you can get experience. Then you can start getting paid. Then you have to do, right, all kinds of things. That's the linear way, right? Like doctors, how many years do they have to work so hard, so many hours before they actually start making the big bucks, right? After going through how many years of schooling, right? It's difficult. It's a very difficult, slow growth because that's the linear way. The new way is, okay, what do you want to do? And then things begin to fall in your lap that tell you what the next step is in order for you to achieve what you want. Now, I am not saying that if you want to become a doctor, an MD, that you can skip over the schooling. But if your goal is not to become a doctor, but to help people heal, for example, that's much more broad out there, right? Perhaps the universe will bring you ways in which you can do that without going the doctor route. Maybe there's a much better way that you can actually achieve what you want to feel and what you want to give to other humans and the earth and humanity that does not require the long years of study and work and money and all of those things that the linear way takes you to do it, right? And this has been proven because for years, people who wanted to do, like, let's say a business, right? It would say, oh, you need this much money to start a business and you need this much time for that business to take off. And that has been proven over and over and over, especially in the last 3 years, that it's not true. That there are ways that you can just go ahead and do it. I know personally people, women, who started their business 3 years ago and who are making over $100,000 a month. Yes, a month. Starting from having debts, starting from having no money, no education in the field that they're working on, right? No, and when I say no education, I mean like no paper on the wall, right? Like no certificate of like I did blah, blah, blah. Because that no longer serves us. That was the old way. That's the linear way, the long way. And now the new way is go with your gut and follow the feelings and follow the things that are being dropped in your lap and recognize what they are and use your curiosity, use your joy, have fun with it and see where it leads you, right? So if I want to write a book and publish a book and I go the long way, the linear way, it's going to take me lots of money, lots of work, lots of things to get all of those things done the way that things are done, right? Like I know people who are doing this, right? They write a book and then you have to send it to how many publishers and see who's going to take it. And then when one decides to, okay, I'll take it, then you can go the next level when that book begins to get published, and then you still have to pay, right, your publisher, and finally when it goes out, then you see if you make any money at all because the book is selling or not selling, popular or not popular, people are seeing it or not seeing it, right? All of that stuff. And there's the marketing, there's all of the stuff that you have to pay. That's a lot of stuff, and it's hard. It's hard because we are getting in the way and thinking of the how. How will I do that if I want to do it? How can I do that, right? The how is none of your business because the how is limited to your limited human mind. And your limited human mind can only operate from past experience. That means the past experience that you had and the past experience of people around you who have told you of their past experience. So this is all information we gather as we're growing up, as we're doing our studies, as we're looking into the things that we want to do. That's the information that we have, and that's it. Whereas the universe has infinite types of possibilities in all different directions, things that we have never thought about. And then it can deliver much faster, easier, and better because the universe knows all the possibilities, not just the ones that we as humans know from our own human experience. I mean, that's a very limited experience, right? Just imagine you live in a human physical body that is limited to physical things, right? You cannot walk through walls. You cannot get from New York to California unless you take some type of transportation that is going to take you X amount of hours or days, depending on which mode of transportation you choose, right? Whereas the universe can bring things to your door in a second because it knows how to do different things in a different way through different realms, right? So that's the magic. That's where the magic happens. Okay, so again, I'm just going back. Celebrate with me, guys. Celebrate with me. Subscribe. If you're listening to this and you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. That will help more people find this. It is my intention this year to really get this podcast out there so that more people can hear it, because the messages are so deep and they're so important, and so many people can benefit from this. And I can feel it. I can feel it as I'm saying it. I'm like, wow, that was wise. Wow, that was amazing. Like, that's not me, right, talking, guys. That's definitely being channeled through some other higher force that's coming through me, right? And so, yeah, let other people find about this, share with other people, and please subscribe so that more people can find it as well. I love you so much. Celebrate with me, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.